Every live event is filled with moments of excitement. LiveSource is a new game-changing app that allows you to create auctions instantly during these moments, as the crowd's excitement is at a fevered pitch.
Comes back with his second triple of the game.
Imagine, after spectacular moments, you could remove any item from the field of play and place it into a live auction in less than a minute while the game is still on. Imagine the fans in attendance bidding on and winning one-of-a-kind memorabilia and experiences from that event while the event is still going on. LiveSource handles the heavy lifting so that there are no limits on what can be sold or when it can be sold. Auctions can be created in less than 60 seconds, at which time the app immediately notifies fans to start bidding, determines the winning bidder, and arranges payment and delivery moments later. Excite your audience with highly shareable moments. Motivate more fans to attend your event, increase revenue. With LiveSource, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's exciting. Today, we have some great guests. Obviously, you see that video playing every show. LiveSource is a great app for online auctions, raffles, and you see a lot of the teams in the NAL starting to use it, which is great. I know last night we picked the winner of the Orlando Predators free raffle. Got a game-worn jersey. That was kind of cool. But we've got the founders of LiveSource, Scott and Mary Levin. I knew I butchered that, man.
Okay.
Guys,
Hi.
fix that for me.
How you doing? I still love that video, even though it's like 4 years old. I like that video.
I think it's good because it gives people a good understanding of really what LiveSource is all about. And I've said from the first time I've met you, Scott, it's like, why is everyone not using this thing? And, would love to kind of hear more about you and Mary. So why don't you guys start off, kind of just introduce yourselves, give us a little bit of a background on your guys's, background outside of LiveSource.
Ladies first.
No, you go ahead, Scott. You take the lead.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I'm a man. No. So yeah, Mary and I are husband and wife, and we created LiveSource together. Really, we were at a hospital fundraiser in 2015 or 14. I forget when it was now, but at that event they sold on the old school bidding sheets where you write down your bid with a pen and paper. They sold a Guns N' Roses signed autographed guitar. And it didn't go for that much money. And Mary and I were looking at it and eyeing it. And she said, no, we can't buy it. So I said, okay. But then 2 weeks later, we went to the Guns N' Roses concert together at Petco Park in San Diego, 80,000 people screaming, really great scene. And basically after the opening act went off the screen, they have this giant video board at the front, and basically the guy who was in charge of the camera would focus in on one person for however long it took, and everyone was on their phone like this, and they would just focus in on one person until that person finally looks up, and then everyone laughs because they've been on the screen without knowing on their phone for 5 minutes. And Mary kind of looked at me and she was like, well, what do you think if they just made an announcement right now that this guitar that Slash is playing with is up for auction, and we're gonna give it to you. We're gonna hand it to you in 20 minutes, or maybe it's a raffle, and all you have to do is go on your phone somewhere, and maybe they'll take a picture with the winner too. So all of a sudden it becomes like an experience, and a piece of history, for anyone that was at that one concert that night. And then, by the way, you can still give all the money away to the Guns N' Roses Foundation or the San Diego Sharp Hospital or the LA, Youth Hospital, whatever it is, wherever, as they travel. So that was really like her idea. And that night we really created LiveSource and we got to work. My background, I'm a lawyer. I've also owned a bunch of businesses and sold businesses and haven't, I'm not doing the work for one company for like 35-year thing. It's just not my personality. So, but Mary came up with the idea and I supported her in all the ways I can. And she then launched LiveSource to the point where, we have all these clients all over the country in North America, actually. It's really something that she created and it's in her image. We make it affordable for clients to create fun and cool experiences for their fans. We make it affordable so that, most of our clients are giving a lot of those funds away, to their charity partners. She's raised, just through minor league baseball alone, over $6 million has been raised through LiveSource
Wow,
last 2 summers. And obviously last summer we didn't even have play. So can you imagine how good of a summer it would have been then? But yeah. So sorry, Mary, I didn't mean to take up all that time.
No, that's okay. Scott pretty much explained it in a nutshell. There were a few instances where we attended live events, and also you can see the bats behind Scott. He's quite a memorabilia collector. And, I thought it would be really crazy to miss an opportunity where you can sell these memorabilia, essentially, whether it be experiences, front row tickets, anything really you can sell and have it. My initial plan was to have it go for charity. And, it just seems like in the moment when the event is taking place, everybody is all about getting a picture of this, event that they're at. And well, how can we make this a really, really unique experience that could really, sell for a lot of money? I was actually just telling Scott the other day, I go, how many baseball games have you been to and you've never caught a ball? Like, what if you could actually buy the ball that's, in game right then and there, and then you can create this amazing experience for yourself or your family or your child and have the proceeds go to charity. That's what LiveSource really is all about. And I actually don't really have a sports background at all, only through marriage. I'm a dental hygienist. I clean teeth and I teach people how to brush and floss, and I really enjoy that.
But you came up with a brilliant idea. I mean, it's all about what does it take to start a good business? I mean, you got to problem solve a problem. And, I think it's genius.
So many of my friends, I'm 42, play fantasy football, play fantasy baseball, we're pretty much in a sports kind of crowd. And none of my friends know, and Padres all of a sudden are going to be really good again. And we're all pumped here in San Diego, but none of my friends have ever heard of the Major League Baseball auction site. And these guys all have, not that we're, affluent, but we pay our bills and we used to go out every once in a while and have some fun. So we go to games and it's like, if you don't bring it into the moment and it's just a passive thing, then it loses all that excitement. Really about doing it live was the original idea and it really executed it really well. It's
very interesting how it's kind of taken a turn with COVID, because we started out, we're like, well, the future is technology. This all has to be sold on tech, whether it be at the game, why not expand it to everyone virtually, whether it be a charity event where they put the silent auction on LiveSource? Why does it have to be just limited to the attendees of the charity event? Why can't it be, why can't I send this awesome item to my, grandmother and she's going to buy it and, outbid someone else and the charity makes more money? Why shouldn't it be that way? And it's very interesting with COVID because everything has to be contactless now. So we really were like a couple years before that, and now we're not going back. This is how it's going to be. It's going to be all digital. So,
I mean, it's brilliant, and from an operator standpoint, from my standpoint, I like the fact that I can do this in arena or in stadium, but I can also do it in the off season to keep my fans engaged and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I really enjoy using, the platform. Kind of explain a little bit exactly, what the app does. And, a lot of our fans are a lot of the people watching are fans of teams. And fans out there, make sure you post, let us know where you're watching from. And if you have questions for Scott or Mary or myself, throw them up in the comments. But kind of give us that overview, Mary.
Basically, the app is very simple to use on both user end and the partner end. So the partner, whether it be an NAL team, they take a picture of the item that they're selling. They upload it, onto the website. They type a little caption about what it is, who it's signed by, or a little caption about what the item is, and then they can put it up for bidding. And then on the user end, all you need to do is you can download the app, LiveSource app, in the App Store, or you can go on livesourceapp.com and access it through the desktop. And you can bid and buy, supporting your favorite teams or charities.
That's pretty cool. We just did the Orlando Predators did a free raffle, and it was good to see the first one for the team. I want to say like around 90 to 100 people participated in it. So for our first one, I think it was pretty successful. And I know that the Columbus Lions have done multiple things on there so far, and they did a free raffle, and then I think they just did an auction on a jersey or helmet. And,
yeah, they did a jersey auction. Yeah, they just sold that this morning.
Yeah. And so I talked to their head coach up there, Jason Gibson, and he said, man, it was great. So
yeah, there's just a lot of really cool features that are built into it that we didn't have originally. I promise. Just like we have this really cool overtime feature, like when someone bids in the last minute, it goes into overtime. And then it goes into double overtime and triple overtime. So, I mean, it's just kind of fun for people. And it's all about, like, it looks cool and the items look cool because of our, the way that we set things up. And then it's just so easy. And so it's doing auctions. You can also sell buy it now items. So, like, if you have 300 bobbleheads, it will just be like a single item and it says 300 available, and then $299, $298 as people start buying those. And then you can also do raffles and sweepstakes, like you were saying, Andrew. So, it's really and you can accept donations. So it's just a powerful, easy tool that we've really honed in on over the last 5 years. And we've grown our business a lot. We're mainly in sports. So if you enjoy, minor league sports, indoor soccer, indoor football, obviously, minor league baseball this summer is going to be huge on LiveSource. We'll probably have 500 to 700 auctions, multiple events every single night all over the country. Nice. So if you like cool gear, cool logos, cool things to walk down the street with, you should check out LiveSource, now and in the coming months, because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff for you to buy.
Yeah, well, and I like too, because I signed up for Jason's raffle up in Columbus, and so I got a push notification when he put the whatever the auction was. I want to say it was a helmet, but so I thought that was kind of cool. So I don't have to always just randomly check. And then I also saw some of the other events that were on there. And so I think what's going to be cool about this for the NAL is now fans throughout the whole league can participate. And fans like to collect, even if that's the arch rival. That player just scored 4 touchdowns on their team or whatever. They want to buy that jersey. I think it's going to be a cool way to really get those fans engaged throughout the entire league and participate.
And we've seen a lot of that over the years, like, even former players. Like, I know there's for the MASL, Arena League Soccer, a lot of the guys have gone, shift around to other teams. So people will buy, their former players' items that are now on new teams. That's a real common thing that we've heard over the years. So, yeah, it's just a lot of really cool stuff and experiences too, and opportunities. I can't even tell you how many cool things that they've sold through LiveSource over the years. Travel with the team to to the NCAA tournament, and then you're like a part of the team. Walking in, you're on the plane, right. You're eating the meals, you're sleeping at the same hotel, you're going to practices. So there's been so many fun things that have been sold on LiveSource. It's pretty cool.
It's neat. It's, you've got, the fan side of it. Then you got like, the team or property. And then, the other component is, the community, and being able to help raise money in the community. A lot of it's charity, not all of it, but I really think that's a cool aspect of it.
Yeah, that was definitely the initial plan on the drawing board, was to help with charities in mind and fundraising for a cause, really, because, that's just a huge important in life, and, who we are as, a family. We try to give back to the community. But I wanted to go back to a really funny story when we were on the drawing board of LiveSource, and Scott came home from work just in a tizzy one day.
Me?
He spent probably like a year just collecting memorabilia, trying to get out of being a lawyer. Did anything in his power to no longer practice law. Do you remember this time in your life, Scott?
Yeah.
Half of it's behind him.
Yeah. When we were at the drawing board of LiveSource, he comes to this meeting with me with a baseball bat, with an old beaten up baseball bat. And he goes, "Do you know what this is?" And I go, "A bat." And he goes, "Do you know that this bat hit the final ball in the 9th inning of the World Series in 1980, whatever?" And he goes, "It was such an incredible play, hit by so-and-so." I don't know, Scott, you can tell me who it is. And he goes, "Do you know how exciting this moment was in history?" And then he goes, "Do you know what I just bought this bat for?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, $100. He goes, "Do you know what this bat could have sold for live if it was sold at the stadium in the moment that it won the World Series?" What do you think? 10,000, 20,000? I mean, it could have made
more than $100.
A tremendous amount of money. And I'll never forget that, Scott. Yeah. I'll never forget that.
But I mean, it's so big right now. And, for people to be able to own a piece of that memory, and history is really cool. Now, do you guys, I know you are in the sports world primarily, but do you work in the nonprofit sector too? Because I've been on several boards, and we're always doing fundraisers, and auctions are always part of that. And I'm thinking of like some of these galas that we have put on, and I'm like, man, this app would have been great. I mean, because you have tables like all over the.
That's the sector I'm trying to grow right now. We definitely have a handful of nonprofits, but since it wasn't kind of the initial plan to do those nonprofit galas, and they were mostly pen and paper up until like last year, we really, our niche was like the sports and the minor league teams, really is what took to us first. but I am definitely trying to grow the nonprofit sector. So we have a lot of nonprofits that use us. We have Down Syndrome Action. We have mostly all in San Diego. We have Cabrillo National Monument. We have Home of Guiding Hands. Really nice nonprofits here in San Diego. But definitely, if since LiveSource is working in your neighborhood, set us up with your nonprofits that you're connected to over there.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to send as many people to Scott as I can. I, greatly appreciate the support for NAL Live, and so anything that I can do. And now that I've used it, it's like it's hard not to, almost be a walking testimonial, and talking to other teams who have used it. Scott, I think you saw I had Andrew Ross and Chris Economies on, my former guys with the Tropics, and they saw the commercial play, and so Andrew Ross right away, hey, talking about when they used it and how successful it was. So if you're a fan out there right now, make sure you go to livesourceapp.com, download the app for whatever kind of phone you have, and be ready, because teams throughout the league are going to continue to have these going all the time. Scott or Mary, who in the NAL is using LiveSource now? Maybe not like today, but like active with it.
Yeah, Columbus, or Orlando, Jersey, Ontario, and Jacksonville.
Great.
So I think we got everybody.
Carolina, and I think Carolina did something before too, right?
A partner of ours from a couple of years ago. Yeah, they've had a lot of great success with LiveSource, and so we're excited to be a part of the league and to have all the teams. And then if there are any athletes out there that, we had Kenny Moore the third actually just did his what do they call those? The cleats that the players get to wear like once a year in the NFL, where they get to design their own cleats.
Oh yeah. I forget what they call that. I remember seeing that.
But he just did My Cause, My Cleats. Sorry.
Okay.
So he just sold his My Cause, My Cleats through LiveSource. So we do a lot of those. If you're an athlete and you want to fundraise, or whatever it is, you can use LiveSource as well. And we promote our clients, and then you obviously our professional athletes have typically decent social media promotion. So it's like one tweet, one Instagram story, and then LiveSource promoting it, and all of a sudden you can raise $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on something that might not have any real value after that moment ends.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not just for teams. That's what's kind of cool. I mean, I know you had mentioned that to me before about just, professional athletes and other entertainers. Lucy and Ronald Clark have a question on, how can nonprofits get in touch with you guys to learn more?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and just shoot us an email at hello@livesourceapp.com. And we'll get right back to you. We're happy to set up a demo and show you how easy it is to upload your first auction.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think the nonprofit sector could definitely utilize this. And again, it doesn't have to be just at those big events. I mean, no. in the boards that I've been on, we're always trying to get creative on fundraising. And, I think throughout the year, we could probably acquire different things to be able to auction off or raffle off. But so, Mary, tell me, how tough has it been keeping Scott away from like buying stuff on the site?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, is he the biggest customer?
I own a lot of stuff.
Times a random shoe shows up at my house, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And he's like, it's a game used shoe.
You want a dirty shoe?
It was my shoe from the Ontario Fury. I love that shoe. I own a lot of minor league baseball jerseys. I own some shoes and some other stuff. But I like to support our clients as well. But
how big's your warehouse?
I try. At this point, that's going back a few years, actually, Mary. If you're honest, like. At first, when we were just starting out, I would definitely buy stuff for our clients, but it's been a while. I've resisted pretty well.
Well, I'm not going to lie. The first few auctions, definitely all the bidders were Susan Levin,
Family.
Brett Levin, all of our family.
Yeah, our first events for sure.
Events were pretty much the whole Levin family was buying out.
Yeah. Well, hey, you gotta start somewhere. And I think, the more people start using it, but you're right. I mean, even if you go to a sporting event right now, I don't care if it's major league, minor league, half the people are on their phones half the time. I mean, they're, looking at the news, they're doing whatever. I mean, so, this is just such a great way to engage. And, you guys mentioned a lot of stuff like live in games. How, do a lot of teams or organizations do that as well?
Yeah, we have a little over 250, professional and collegiate teams that, in a non-pandemic setting, do auctions and raffles and sales opportunities on LiveSource live during games. And then, fans that are there, sometimes get to go on the field and collect their items. That's how the Carolina Cobras did it. So it's like a jersey off your back, the player takes it off and he kind of takes a picture with the kid or whoever won it. So that, definitely very common. But, now in the pandemic, our clients can ship all the items through LiveSource and have people buy shipping and it's all seamless. So, we're set up for all aspects of life at this point.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's been fun. Mary and I the Guns N' Roses concert wasn't a one-time thing. That's kind of was our thing. It was our thing because now we have 3 kids. But
Guns N' Roses or concerts?
Or just concerts, going to Notre Dame football game, LSU from Ohio State games, seeing the Green Bay
at the Horseshoe. Have you been to the Horseshoe?
Yeah.
That's awesome experience.
Yeah, we travel once a year to maybe a couple times a year to go do something fun back in the day. Now, not so much now, but yeah.
How many kids?
We got 3.
How old?
3 boys. They're 10, 9, and 2. 2.5. Yeah.
Man, good luck.
I know.
I started really young. So my oldest is 23. She lives in Tampa, and my youngest is 17.
Oh, nice.
So they're at least they're self-sufficient. So I mean, I could barely take care of myself, let alone kids. So I'm not a good one. But I was thinking when you were saying some of the stuff about the live things, it would be kind of cool for one of the teams in the NAL. You could almost auction off a touchdown during that game, the ball.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I think the biggest thing is just getting the fans to get on the app so that they are updated with all the cool stuff that's going to happen. I mean, that's the biggest thing. How much does it cost?
If they go to the website, they still get notifications. They just get email notifications.
Okay. So either the app or
the app. Yeah, you can do the app or the website, whichever they prefer.
And then what was I going to say? The app.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's good. And we lost your better half. So
all right.
But
that's all good.
But no, I think that's definitely something that the team should take advantage of, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. So what are some of the top things that you've seen on your platform since you guys launched, and kind of anything really super creative that was kind of cool?
I'm trying. Oh yeah, you know what's kind of cool? The Akron Rubber Ducks kind of used LiveSource in a really interesting way. So they had a season-long car giveaway where they kept it up as a sweepstakes. So it was a free enter to win. And then and then they had I think it was 17 numbers. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, etc. So they had those 17 items. So then when they selected the winners, so every number got a winner. And then those people came onto the field and then they all had these giant, numbers because associated with what their number was on LiveSource, and then somehow they, selected the winner from there, who won the brand new car. So like that was kind of a fun thing to do. They also, the Rubber Ducks at that same event sold like I think it was 500 bobbleheads like in like 5 minutes through LiveSource. So they do this kind of famous bobblehead thing every year. And basically there's usually like a giant line because every single person that wants a bobblehead has to be there. And then you have to purchase it and wait and pay. And then you basically select a bobble. You don't know which bobblehead you're going to get. It's kind of like a mystery bobblehead. So on LiveSource, they sold those. So there was no line at the stadium because everyone was buying it on their phone. And it was like selling 500 of one of the same item and selling out in like 5 minutes was like really impressive to me.
What is it? What's it like? So if a fan is out there right now and they want to download it, what's it cost them to download the app?
Oh yeah, it's totally free to people to use. So,
yeah, I mean that's.
And we don't charge a winner's fee. A lot of auction sites out there will like your final bid is $100, but they'll charge you a 20% winner's fee. That's most sites. So like your actual payment becomes $120. So we don't do anything like that. Like when we created this, we were like, listen, this is just going to be like what we would want if we were using something, and we're going to worry about the money later.
Are you guys like tech, like people? Have you guys had other tech businesses before?
Yeah, I've been involved in tech, just like as in my legal practice in the past, and that was a part of my practice, helping tech companies from like stage, infancy to growth. But this is our first, where we've actually created something ourselves. Hey, you're back.
You made it back.
I'm rambling. I needed you. The viewership just plummeted when you went off.
The other thing I saw that was really cool, and it was, you emailed me about it because I forgot, but there's like a random selector for the raffle, because it's funny. Jason up in Columbus and I were talking about that one day. We're like, well, what do we do? Like so I think he might have put it in like a hat the first time.
Oh, okay.
I told him to check with you, and but I thought he said that was one of the options. And
they're rigging the raffle.
Oh, it's great. It's like, it's so easy.
Random selector. You can also use it for 50-50, raffles or paid raffles too. So, and we have these really cool like raffle bundles. So our partners can like say like, hey, one ticket's $5, but 3 tickets are 12, or 5 tickets are 20. So, there's just all cool. There's like 1,000 little cool features like that like are built out.
The one thing that I want to really utilize it for too, and I'm sure this isn't the intended purpose, but I think it could be beneficial, is I'm a big like community marketing and all that. So I'm a big like enter to win contest, at our table, at our pop-up tent. And so I wanted to figure out how to either create the barcode or something that people can just come to the table instead of the old fashioned way where we'd have to get all those name entries and then type them in and then pick a winner and then make sure that we could read their phone number. This app can pretty much take care of all those things for us. And then we don't have to worry about all the paperwork. And we could select winners like on the spot. It like the one last night when I did it, it automatically notified them. So I was like, man, this is kind of too easy. Where the heck was this all these years?
I know.
Why didn't you find me sooner, Scott?
It really is. We're not. Andrew's really not BSing. It's just super simple. It's just like easy peasy. You want to have access to like a really easy to use, online site and app. Where you can sell things and fundraise and accept donations and do it all in a way where all of your supporters get notified automatically when you create these opportunities, like Andrew mentioned. It wasn't that way in 2015 when we launched.
Right.
But it is now. And that's really good news for people that want an affordable, easy way to do this.
I had like 2 people reach out to me. They're like, all right, so what's the catch with LiveSource? Like from the league meetings, that you guys were part of. And I was like, there's not. It's actually a good service, and it's truly a great thing for not just the fans but the teams. So
yeah, we're stoked.
I can't preach it enough. I'm like, dang, why didn't I think of this idea? I wasn't at that Guns N' Roses concert, man. Come on.
You didn't have Mary. You got to have Mary.
I know. I'll tell you what, though. My wife is definitely, she's got that, like Mary, coming up with those ideas. Like, she comes up with the good stuff, and then I get to run with it sometimes. So
that's pretty much what happened.
But no, I mean, that's good though, and it's it's cool. Family business. You guys are working it together, and able to kind of just take your different backgrounds and different skill sets and move it forward.
Mary's the greatest salesperson ever when she was still practicing dental hygiene. You have no, I'm not going to mention names, but
as she's cleaning teeth, she's
major leagues. I got our major leads through having people's mouths open in the dental chair, and I start talking LiveSource.
Auto, famous, the open wheel racing that we've had auctions for came from Mary cleaning the teeth of a guy who owns one of those teams. He's got no choice. He's just sitting there like this.
He's like,
and
the
Mr.
power of a dental hygienist leaning over your mouth can have.
Yeah, and Mary, poor Sandy Alderson, who he's with the Mets, so we don't partner with the Mets yet, but we do partner with all of the Mets 4 minor league teams. And he was sitting there, and he's such a nice guy.
He was influential.
And Mary's sitting there pitching him LiveSource as he's got his mouth open. I feel bad for him, but he took our call afterwards. Super nice guy. So
I like it though, hustling. You know, like you got to talk about it. And number one is there's so many cool components to it. It's not like you're selling something. I mean, that's what's kind of weird about it. Like, it's. It is, but it isn't. It's not like the NAL had to give you 10 grand or something like that to be able to use this. So it's a service that makes sense for really everyone, and it's hard to find those types of things. Usually, there's like the teams that called me. Okay, what's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, we have to make it affordable. I mean, we don't put as much money in as our pocket as we could have, but LiveSource pays for itself. We have a nice little staff that they all get paychecks. It's a great little company. I mean, and we made it affordable, and there's no reason to change that now that we've been able to get the company up and running. So now it's just about growing. And there's one of our kids, so it's probably a good time, Andrew.
We're just wrapping up.
Yeah, let's see his face.
Is that the vice president? Vice president right there?
Yeah.
There, you can only see his hair. Oh, there.
Hi.
Can you say hi?
This is Seth. He's our 2-year-old.
Man, that's a lot of work at 2.
You look confused.
He's like, why do I see these people?
Who's
Who's the weird guy?
Live on the air.
Yeah. So hello@livesourceapp.com. Reach out to us. We'll do a demo for anyone that wants one, and let us know how we can help.
Yeah, and definitely go download that app. Check it out, because I just talked to Jason Gibson up in Columbus. I know they're going to be utilizing it, monthly. And a lot of the other teams are just getting started. I know Jersey Flight had mentioned that they were getting rolling too. So if you're a fan, it doesn't matter what team, get in there, download the app, join, so you can take part in some of these upcoming things. Some of them are going to be free raffles. Some will be live auctions. So LiveSourceApp.com. We've got the brains here, Mary, who let Scott, play, play in the app a little bit. So
it's been a fun ride.
No, I appreciate you guys joining me. And again, thanks for the sponsorship to NAL Live. It's helpful. There's a lot of time being put into it, and we're really building it, and your support definitely helps us do that. So I want to personally thank you guys for that, and look forward to working with you guys for a long time.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks, buddy.